Hey, okay, so right now, I want to tell you a little thing about Planned Parenthood. Okay, so first of all, pro-life and pro-choice is this big thing, and I'm not going to get into it right now. I might later, and if I do, there's a link. There will be a link right here-ish. And yeah, okay, so thing is, the biggest thing I don't understand with people that want to cut funding to Planned Parenthood because they don't want to fund abortions is if you get rid of Planned Parenthood, then there will be a lot of women without contraceptives like birth control and shots and stuff. And if that happens, then there will be a lot more unwanted pregnancies, which means more women wanting abortions. Just think about this for a minute. If you want, because you can't just be like, oh, well, if we cut them off, then they won't have sex. Okay, people are gonna have sex. You know, they're not gonna choose their lives just because you cut funding. They're just gonna fuck themselves over. But anyways, so what? Like, wouldn't just think about this for a minute, guys. If you don't want to get pregnant, if you don't want someone to have an abortion because they have an unwanted pregnancy, then maybe you should let them have birth control, affordable birth control, because 75% of, sorry, I thought the mirror was my hair. 75% of people that are patients of Planned Parenthood are 150% below the poverty line. These are people that can't afford healthcare. And if you cut Planned Parenthood and they can't go to Planned Parenthood, then they will go with their fucking Medicare to... Medicare is the old people one, just kidding. Whatever government-funded healthcare thing is. And then that is more government spending than Planned Parenthood would require because, you know, hospitals versus... I'm not gonna get into that. But, yeah, so... I just, like, it doesn't make sense to me. And what's more is about how they want to cut spending because they don't want taxpayers' money to go to abortions. Okay, first of all, like, Planned Parenthood, only 3% of it is abortions. Secondly, federal law does not let Planned Parenthood pay, like, the government funding. That does not pay for abortions, okay? It's paid for by donations, and a lot of it is actually out of pocket. Like, abortions are fucking expensive. But, yeah, anyways, so, it's just like, so both of those are invalid arguments, whether or not you are pro-life or pro-choice. You should be able to recognize these things and go, I want abortions. But people are gonna want them if they get pregnant and can't have a baby. Like, you can't change what people want, you know? So, why don't I get rid of the availability of contraceptives and make it more likely for them to get pregnant? Just like, come on, guys. Seriously. And Planned Parenthood does a lot, okay? More than contraceptives and abortions, okay? It does STD and STI testing, which is really important if you find out right away and not later, because A, that means you're not going to pass it on to other people, and B, you know, treatment, if you start early, it works better, you know? Okay, they also do a lot for cancer testing and stuff, and not just for women, like with breast or cervical cancer. They do a lot for men stuff too, which now I can't, words are escaping me. But yeah, they do a lot of that. And because the thing is, when you are poor and you have shit health insurance, you cannot afford to go to the fucking OBGYN and get a pap smear. Okay? Like, which is where, you know, people that can't afford go. Most people that can't afford, you know, to go to the hospital and see, like, you know, the normal gynecologist do that. They don't go to Planned Parenthood. So yeah. And it's just like, it's another example of how we are cutting off, like, the poor, you know? Like, we're not helping them. Like, how are they benefiting from this, you know? Like, I'd like to see some of these people that want to cut Planned Parenthood spending, you know? I'd like to see them taken off of their health insurance and have to go to places like Planned Parenthood to get their cancer screenings and shit, you know? Just fucking dumb. Okay. And also, with pregnant people, Planned Parenthood does a lot to educate pregnant mothers and families and stuff. Okay? Like, it's amazing. Like, Planned Parenthood does a lot to help people and educate them on how to properly raise a healthy baby, which is gonna be really hard if you can't go to Planned Parenthood and you have to pay for all those doctor's visits that you can't afford. So you either end up way fucked up in debt, which means you can't pay for your kid, because babies are expensive, guys. But that also means that you won't want to have them when you want to have an abortion. That also means that, you know, we'll just have more unhealthy babies. And yeah, okay, so I'm gonna stop this here because I can go on forever, but this is getting pretty long. So yeah, just remember, if you take birth control away, then you're gonna have more unwanted pregnancies, which leads to more abortions.